Mm-hmm. All right. Alrighty. Patreon is working. Cool. Now how to get to Substack. Net. Ingenuity is a secret for a healthy life. There we go. Mm-hmm. One of these days, I'm going to remember how to get to. How to find. Ah, there it is. All right. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I found it. All right. Okay. Okay. Echo. Echo much. All right. There we go. All right. Okay. Substack is going. Patreon is going. Hey, everybody. How you doing on this fine summer day? This is the yeah. All right. Afternoon live stream this time around. So, thank you for indulging me in that. Today was my daughter's very first day of summer vacation, so I was off playing with them. So that's I was playing with them this morning, trying to get summer off to the right start. All right, so nothing too fancy. Just took them to the playground. Just uh, I'm not sure if I wore them out or they wore me out or what's the deal, but yeah, it was definitely. Oh, hey, there we go. All right, I need to set this share screen up. All right, there we go. Yes, all right, entire screen. Okay, I'm running a little bit behind on all of this, as you can tell, but I do thank you for your patience. And there we go, layout. You would think I have this down by now, but there we go. No, I just like the little me in the circle here. Like again, I always feel like the Looney Tunes. Takes me right back to Looney Tunes. All right, all right, all right. That was not Looney Tunes. Okay, let's get it. I think we got it set up. Hey, we're rocking and rolling. Sweet. Cool. All right. Do. So, if you have any questions, comments, death threats, or other communique, leave them in the comments. And let's see, we are, I think, finally, definitely, this week, going to finish this monster illustration that I've been working on for I don't even know how many weeks this time at this point. And yeah, so yeah, it's been a long one, but I think today is definitely going to be the home stretch. For real this time. I know I said that last week, but this time for real. For realsies. Because I believe at this point, all we really have to do is all the shadows are there. Just need to lay down the highlights. And so, okay. Boop. Making sure I haven't started anything else yet. Okay, okay. And away we go. All right. Hope you. But yes, summer here in the great state of Minnesota is off to a awesome start. Yep. Let's see. But yes. Yeah. If you enjoy, before we get too far along, then I do want to mention that if you enjoy what I do, if you like these live streams, if you enjoy getting the Canon Evangel and Impure Blood delivered to your inbox every week, please consider becoming a Substack sustainer or Patreon patron. Let's see. For the pittance, of 75 cents per week, as low as 75 cents per week, you too can become a integral part of making not only the Canon Evangel, but all of this happen. So please consider becoming a paid subscriber. And if not, that's cool. I get it. Times are tough. Restacks, reshares, retweets, and all of the above, and just generally spreading the word is also a great way to help. Yeah, just recommending stuff to a friend that you think might like. Recommending me to a friend who's you think might like my stuff. That is also extremely helpful. So, and let's see, sales pitch over. Let's get on to it. So yeah, they're just in the final stage, the final highlights. Let's see. And we're just going through. I've got a layer set here for overlay, and the opacity is reduced to 50%. And let's see. So really, I'm just going around through with a soft brush. I've got my magic wand set for. I got my magic wand set up here at the top. I got the contiguous and sample all layers, so it's sampling like kind of everything within, uh, you know, uh, this field. So like it's not just sampling the flat colors; it's also sampling from the lines, and the and the shadows. And so that is how I am kind of doing this Frisket style highlighting action that I'm doing here today. And we're also going to include such fun tricks. This also lets me do things like just, boop, 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 getting inside each and every one of those little spirals. Bink, bink, bink. Bink, bink, bink. Yep, no. Bink, bink. Switching to the brush tool and then just going woo down the way. And it gives it kind of that, accentuates that coiled effect there. So, let's see. So as you can see what I did here, like the standard experience from my caricature experience, you just hit the highlights on the when you're doing faces. You want to hit the highlights, kind of like forehead, nose, cheekbones, and then maybe chin a little bit. And those are usually just like that's because those are the parts of your human face that are sticky outy and tended to catch the light the most. So oh yeah, we're cruising. We're gonna finish this bad boy probably with time to spare. So, and then I think we're going to roll straight into my next project and the next thing. As I am a little backed up on commissions. And and freelance work. Let's see. So, now the other thing that I like to do is, as long as we're here, uh, is I like to take a hard round brush like so, and then just hit kind of this underlight, basically create a secondary light source on top of the shadows. So just go through with the hard light. So I was just going to trace the outside line. And then maybe take my soft round eraser brush and then, kind of soften that kind of thing. And then as you can see, that creates a lovely extra bit of dimensionality to it with that the secondary light source. And you can have all kinds of fun with this. You can do, like, doesn't have to be white, it can be other colors. If there's like actually, now that I mention that, now that I say that out loud, I think I might make those, dude. I think I might give that a yellow tone. Kind of this light. So, there we go. Yeah, okay, I like that. So, just, because the primary colors here seem to be purple and gold, for the color scheme of this universe, I am opting to use this kind of baby duck yellow color over here in order to in order to create the secondary light source. So I'm using white for the primary light source. Excuse me, just need to find my mouse. Here it is. Let's see. Just need to find. There we go. Beautiful. All right, cool. And actually, now that I'm on this tip, so yes, using this baby duck yellow as kind of my contra point to the and to the purpley shadows, because purple and yellow, they are opposites. They are on opposite sides of the color wheel, which makes them complementary colors, but they go well together. It's the whole opposites attract thing. They have a forbidden romance thing going on. So, right. So here we are. So yes, I think that will be, there we go. I think that's what we're gonna do. All right. Normally, in most cases, I just use white for my highlights and stuff like that, but I think in this particular case, the yellow gold is the way to go here. For that reason that I mentioned. There you go. Here's more secondary light source stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. Groovy, baby. Yeah. Yeek. All right, moving right along. Primary figure is done, so we're just gonna cruise on down to this guy down here. And again, using my wand to kind of, select the area and make the friskets. Oop, what did I do? I did not want to do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that, you did that. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not being super precise with the soft round brush, just kind of creating very broad gradients. And that's just how I do it. As you know, there's many ways to do everything in the arts. And this is how I do. There you go. Again, with the whole secondary light source there, hitting the other side of dude's face. Let's see. All right. and rocking and rolling. So now here we have like something that's kind of a metallic surface. So when I encounter that, I prefer to use a hard round brush and just kind of use the like just do a little bit of line just on the other side of just like with a little bit of space between the the edge and like and the interior space, if you follow my meaning. And that kind of, and then maybe like these little blobs here, and just because that creates kind of a shiny effect, metallic-y shiny effect, as you can see, because that's what you want. Hard round brush, way to go, for the win. And then clean that up a skosh. Alrighty. And just gonna a little bit down there. And that guy's done. Hey, see how fast this goes? Yeah, the highlight portion of this is usually the quickest, just because it's kind of takes up like the least amount of space in the image in the illustration. So as you can see, I'm gonna get going here. Like I wish I could show you my hand on the keyboard right now because it's just kind of it's kind of doing its own thing. And that's what happens when you get used to hotkeys. And let's see, you can kind of, it's like, I do still need to watch my hands when I type, but my fingers, my fingers know where they're going when I'm just using Photoshop. So, actually, so for down here, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to sample this pink magenta color that the blade is, because that's kind of emitting its own light source. Boop. And just going to sample toga here. And yeah, just going to use that for like as the light source for the, kind of give it that wash, that pinky wash thing. So as you can see, yeah, and it creates the illusion that the blade is emitting its own light source. So that's fun. And to do the same thing with a little bit here. And so for this, I actually am opting to overlap in the shadows a little bit, as you can see, because that helps to create this whole again, assists with the illusion of that there's a tinted light, happening here. Might even go so far as to do that on the pants of the gentleman behind. There you go. So yeah, because that's if you think of whenever you've been in a room or like a haunted house or something like that where there's shadows, or like they have a red light bulb or something like that going on, or a colored light bulb. And you can see like everything is not only is everything tinted red, but the shadows are kind of tinted red as well. That's kind of the effect that I'm tapping here for this. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Another one bites the dust. Guess he doesn't really bite the dust so much as he just, he's done. He's done. He's good. Looking good. Looking just a little bit more dimensional. And we can move on to Wrenchy McWrenchface over here. There we go. All right. Oop. So yeah, just that edge of the wrench, and then again because of the horn, so here's another kind of little effect that I'm doing with these spiky horny things. Hee horny things. Let's see, I'm a grown up. So just rather than going all the way to the edge and creating a uh, uh, and doing the friskets like on a matte surface. I'm kind of creating this little just line shape in the like in the interior space that's on the edge of the shadow, and that's kind of creating this. That's giving the impression, creating the illusion that of the shininess, the reflectiveness, the gloss. There we go. That's the word. You know, glossy effect, right? Yeah, as opposed to matte effect. That's yeah. I'm a professional. There we go. Yes, the mattiness and glossiness are those are very technical terms. And people wonder, and artists wonder why people think we're all frou frou, meh, I don't know, woobity woo feelings. Some stuff. I don't know. I don't have any woobity woo feelings. Also, I don't know why they're woobity woo. And just don't know how Adam Sandler came into this. Nose. So there's again cheeks, forehead, chin. I do like to go into a little bit more depth and do like kind of the upper lip there. And as long as we're here, here and staring at this thing, I am going to add like a little bit more gradient into the teeth here. There you go. As you can see, there you go. There you go. It's just bothering me. Artist problems. Boop, boop. And again, just because it's shiny, just going to add these little striations and lines and stripey bits into the hair. Create that slick look, the greaser look. And let's see, then we're going to do likewise down here. Although we're going to use a soft brush. Let's see, leather, I will confess, leather still throws me sometimes. Like, I need to find a way to do that halfway between that little bit more glossy than matte, but not a little bit more matte than glossy look that leather kind of gives you. So, I mean, I guess this is close. Might need to dig into that a skosh more. And alright. Horns. There's that shiny, reflective thing I was talking about with the horns again. Not going to the edge, but rather creating the shape in the middle of the horns to create gloss, shininess. Glossy, shiny. Shiny, glossy. Slippery when wet. I don't know. But yes, so yeah, once you kind of figure out how to differentiate between, once you figure out how to differentiate between glossy and matte, that actually kind of, you can use glossiness on for like just a variety of different effects. So like if your character just, like got like fell in the water and getting out, and you got to figure out how to make it look like, oh, they're still all wet, well, what, let's see, just using a glossy, or the glossy effect on their skin, in addition to, like if they have hair, their hair is now going to be all down, right? Falling straight down and have no body because it's all heavy and weighed down with water, right? Like your hair is when it gets out of the shower, right? So there's that. Or if the person is a baldy, that's you just use that also. You can use that. You can use that to imply the glossy effect to do a cue ball head, perfectly shaved head or perfectly smooth head. That's it. if you know you wanted to draw Professor Xavier for some reason. But yeah, just like being able to differentiate between glossy and matte surfaces is just infinitely useful. Or at least when you're coloring. Eh. Or, just in general, like, cause yeah, if you're drawing swords, you want them to look metallic and shiny, or armor, right? Heck, even if you draw, like, whatever you draw. If your characters exist in a world where there's shiny stuff, and I mean, why wouldn't they? Right. But do did buttons. So, I do also, by the way, keep a highlight layer, as you can see over here, for let's see, for for when I want a more contrast between the character and when I brighter, sharper, higher contrast. Well, there's a higher contrast reflection, and that is why the overlay here, as you can see, is dialed down to 50%. That's what it would look like if it was 100%, right there. Yeah, right. As you can see, it's a little hot. Although that that could be useful, say if there's like a bright light shining on the characters or something like that. But since that's not necessarily the effect that I'm going for right now, I prefer to keep the general highlights layer down to 50%. Boop. And then for when I do want something that's extra high contrast, shiny, that's what I have that second layer for. That is at 100%. Mm-hmm. And down here. And because this is, more of a denim look, obviously, just going to kind of color it like I would most any other kind of clothing. Oop. I have to want this little panel here. There we go. And yeah, so I guess it looks a little bit different. Makes this one look a bit more leather, and this one makes it a little bit more denim. So, sure, we'll go with that. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. That's art. Half illusion, half delusion. Mm-hmm. He got a wrench. Still want to know what Lion Dude's deal is? Gave up being king of the savannah in order to get into a life of plumbing. It could happen. Yeah, the simpler life. Sure, so maybe respected, but hey, he's happier. He's a happier lion. So as you can see, yep, just doing these little kind of stripy stripes to create like hair texture and grain. There we go. And then I do like to take my soft erasure brush for hair and then just kind of go boop, boop, boop around the edges like so. Do, 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 do. Cute. Boop. And just, yeah. There we are. Alright. Once again, so fun fact. Boop, boop. Animal faces work more or less the same as human faces. The same landmarks, the same features, just in different proportions. At least in the mammalian family. So, doing the same thing. Cheekbone, upper lip, I guess, you know, because like he's got a little muzzle that sticks out a little bit. And chin and forehead. In fact, that was one of the drills I did in for caricaturing, was caricaturing animals. You know, like, one of the drills I did one of the drills I did while learning how to caricature was caricaturing animals and then kind of drawing animals as humans. So like you know, if he had this kind of nose, what would he look like if he had this kind of, you know. So yeah, and that was just a way of looking at the exaggerated features or the different proportions of non-human animals, and you know, helping to translate them and looking at the landmarks and helping to translate. Yeah, just generally helping to switch those to translate or map those onto human features. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was one of the drills I enjoyed more. Mm-hmm. There we go again. Shield, kind of metallic. So I'm gonna do these like just like two little spots right here. Just really kind of creates the illusion of a metallic surface. And it's again, I love simple solutions, things that are simple yet effective. Got the back edge of this guy here. There we go. And then lather, rinse, repeat. Pauldron. I do that. They're on the chesticles. There we go. Looks like he's got kind of a shiny head chrome dome. So for in this particular instance, going to trace that, create a little hard line there. Actually, let's just extend that all the way around to the back side of the helmet. And that, boop. There you go. Yeah, let's make those soft. So again, these little shiny dots here to imply gloss. Take a hard round brush, and yeah. And then yeah, just kind of create these little reflection lines. then this is an instance in which, right, I may indeed use that highlight layer. Ooh, I know. Let's see what happens if we do this. Use selection tool and then, okay. Or, yeah, like, I think I like that better. So there you go. Very Space Ranger. I like it. Hey, that looks cool. And it is one of those nice things when you're doing art stuff. Every once in a while, you do something you like, and that looks cool. Oh, hey, look at that. Forgot to shade this dude in the middle. Okay. See, that's what happens when I don't do the live stream for like a couple weeks. I forget where I left off. So, turns out, oh, we're just not quite done with shadows yet. Had one more to do, but don't you worry, we'll get there. We can switch gears here. Mm-mm. Mm. There you go. Shine on the back side of the helmet. There we are. Cool. And then, top side of the sword or bottom side of the sword? Let's do top side of the sword. Has the reflection. Cool. There's that. And then I think here we have another instance in which I want to use my highlight layer, my full 100% layer. And I'm doing that and that. A or B. Yeah, let's go with the white actually. And then on top of that, I think I'm going to add a glare layer. A glare layer. Hey, let's see, a glare layer in which I can, just put the yeah. So I'm just gonna take really easy, great effect. It's just a soft round brush, nothing, no effects or nothing. Just boom, and you just boop, boop. There we go. I might do that, but look at I'm doing this. I'm gonna do this in a couple other places too. Yeah, so just a soft white brush and soft round brush with the white selected, and yeah, there you go. Creates this cool beat and getting the cool little glares, glares on like camera flares or lens flares. I like that. The glare layer. That's what it's going to be called from now on. Glare. Uh, glare layer. Uh, I'm a dork. Alright. If you're gonna amuse anybody, you should at least amuse yourself. And if you're not even amusing yourself, what are you even doing? All right, let's see. So I think we are now. I believe. Yep. Okay. Highlights on that guy are done. On our knight character are done. So we're gonna switch back to shadow mode for a sec here, and then and then do this guy's armpit quick because I forgot that as well. And then gonna go back over here and add shadows to our wizard guy, our lucha wizard guy, because forgot that last time apparently. So that dude, and if you recall you want your hard shadows. Hard shadows equals cast shadow. Yeah. And meow. Uh oh. Now the other cat's talking to me. Man. Not even the cat whisperer here. Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyway, yep, cast shadow under the nose. Let's see. Boop boop. His mask. Give him. Let's see. Yep. We'll give him some whips. Because remember, your upper lip is tilted inward, so it's tilted, which means it's tilted away from the light. My goodness. Don't know if you guys can hear that. I say, yeah, this is turning into I think this is turning into a cat live stream. Last couple weeks, my cat Stinker, my elder cat Stinker, has been coming to tell me all about it. And today it's my younger cat Chico. So yeah, welcome to Cat Talk, the show in which, we don't necessarily talk about cats. It's just, the cats talk at you. So, it's just listening to cats go wow the entire time. I mean, I just figured, I just assume they're insulting me in cat. I mean, the cats. So it's kind of a given. All right. All right, let's see here. So I'm gonna do, this is kind of a chest plate thing. So I'm going to just kind of trace the outside with this hard round brush. That. Soften that up a little bit. And that's the nice thing about the soft round brush is that if you're ever not quite happy with the point that your uh, shadow shape makes, you can always just kind of soften it up and and that little fade out. A little fade out. I like that. Alright, so now I do want to do a thing, so I'm going to use the hard round brush to kind of create the shadow on this side of the nose. But then I'm going to, use the soft white, or the soft round eraser brush to kind of create that little, to kind of pull it back a little bit, soften up the edge, and yeah, just kind of create that little effect right there. Isn't that fun? Do nope, nope. There we go. And gonna do this side. Select up this side. Shoop, 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 shoop. And shadow under the cape. add a little bit, a few more of these kind of wrinkly lines here, because he's got kind of a poofy shirt, and that kind of like makes it look like a fold in the fabric, and that's cool. Yeah. There's that. There you go. A few more lines there. All right, cool. Doot, doot, doot. And then underside of the hands, of course. I mean, that's just kind of a gimme. Hands are, you know, creating a shade, shading the light. There we go. Doot, doot. Soften up that a little bit. Gonna use the soft round for this kind of like soften up that under the palm pad there. How is that never a tablet or personal device of any kind? The palm pad. Oh, it just seems like such a gimme. Oh well. There's Palm Pilot, of course. The original tablet from, gosh, the 90s. That crashed and burned like the Hindenburg. Is it too soon? Is it too soon for a Hindenburg joke? Yeah, maybe. It's only been 100 years. People are still healing. Alright. And the side of that arm. Doot, doot, doot. Oh, okay. A little ring. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Hey, there we go. Alright, Wizard Guy, Shadows, done. Except maybe for this cheek line right here. There we go. Now they're done. Yes. Alright. Pretty sure. Alright. So we're going to switch back to our highlight layer, our overlay layer. Select our yellowy for the love of Mike. All right. Yeah, so this happens sometimes when you're doing a big illustration like this. You notice all the things you forgot along the way and skipped over some bits. So, it's our detective's coat, for instance. Missing some shadows in some places. Some details here and there. Alright, color inside the lines, Luke. We went to art school for this. Okay. All right. Now, okay. One more check. One check, check, check. Okay. I think I'm gonna do here a little bit. All right. Now I'm getting all paranoid, so I'm gonna make sure. Okay. All right. Anywhere else? All right. I think we're good. Anyway, take a drink. Water is good. Have you guys tried water? Water is awesome. This this live stream brought to you by water. Water. You need it. Alright. So getting back into it. Getting back into it. I'm gonna do the brow on the lion. On this lion chest plate. I think I'm gonna give it that metallic effect that we were talking about. Right on shooting star. Now I got the pillows stuck in my head. And I don't know why. Did I say something? I could turn, I could actually turn on the pillows instead of like just beatbox scatting them. What fun would that be? Or it might get me copyright content flagged again. Just the way of the world. Can't even listen to your music in your studio whilst live streaming without getting copyright flagged. State of the world, that tells you. Alright. Okay, that guy's looking good. Gonna do a few things like so. Cape. Let's see. Use that's a few of those secondary light sources like I was talking about. Alright. And maybe there we go. I don't know why I needed to make that better, but I did, so. And you gotta watch me. This is my show, dang it. Alright, cool. I'm good. I'm kidding. Alright, so, Robo. We're just going to so because he's a Robo and because he has all these angles, we're just gonna we're actually gonna default to our hard round brush here. And let's see. So, and and kind of just do the angles or shade the angles, if that makes sense. I do think I would like a little gradient here. There we are. Maybe, yeah, there we go. And here. There we go. Kind of like coloring the side of that because it creates this kind of bendy chevron impression. Hard around the outer edge here. Again, because it's metal-y, I'm guessing. Robots, traditionally metal. Or is that a vicious stereotype? It could be. Okay. But I believe marriage is between one man and one robot. I don't know why I said that. I'm just being... Sorry, random. I'll be good. Okay, but yes, as you can... Stick to the art boy. Alright. I'm just gonna stick to the art from now on. That's probably wise. Alright. Or several robots in one man. I don't know. Like... Or... I believe marriage is between 3 men and 1 porn star. I really need to stop. Okay. Anyway. Hope no. I'm gonna get the explicit tag on the again. Somehow. So any dang way. I'm just gonna keep drawing now. Alright, I'm just gonna walking away. Alright. And so again. Really just doing the surfaces. The yeah, the angles, the edges that are, you know, facing the light source here. You know, it's probably a good thing no one's watching. This is because this is how you get demonetized. Ooh, there we go. I like that. All right. Giant robo looking swell. Giant and online. Add our reflection dots again. Those are cool. And we're going to have a little stretch. Oh, that's good. Ah, yeah. Stretching. Also, also important. This live stream brought to you by stretching. It's good for you. Do hands and knuckles are just weird in general. So, take that back a notch. There you go. You can't default completely to the where stuff is, where the magic wand selects. You do have to use your own eyes a little bit. Like all digital art, you can't just default and trust the blindly trust the computer to do it. You need to use your eyes, use your judgment, use your human intuition, and all that kind of stuff. AI art looking at you. Cool. Alright. Back up the code again. Add little reflections on every one of his bandoliers, bandolier bullets, because that is the kind of masochist I am. A masochist with an attention to detail. Cool. Boop, boop. Alright. Now, there you go. How appropriate. We were just talking about leather earlier, and here we are with this lady. So this actually seems like more like vinyl, or the way the reference photo made it look like this seemed more like vinyl or pleather. But again, here's that glossiness coming into play. And that ability to do glossiness coming into play. Might even, boop, go switch up to the highlight mode and add a little bit extra. There we go. Yes, and then abs. Who doesn't like abs? I mean, I'm guessing some people don't like abs, but you know, law of averages. You know what, I might There you go. Okay, sorry. I started a sentence. I didn't need to finish it. You didn't want to hear the rest of that sentence, did you? No. There you go. There you go. I think I like that better. Boop. There. Okay. And you. And again, that whole forehead, nose, cheekbones, chin formula gets even more valuable the further away from the camera the character is. And highlight on the lip. Then, as before, hair striations. Oop. Cool. All right. You're done. All right, over to this side. Oh my gosh, you guys, like just 2 characters left. So, stinking close. Oof. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. And so drawing a trench coat reminds me. I'm wondering how. I'm admittedly curious about this Spider-Man noir thing. Not necessarily rush right out in a buying frenzy curious. But it's kind of one of those, you know. If and my playlist is long. My watch list is already long. But if somebody were like, "Oh my God, you need to see this. It's very, very good," I could be talked into it. Mm-hmm. Or rather, it wouldn't take too much to talk me into it. Okay, gonna go back here, make sure that I get all the detective bits before I move on to the next thing. Okay, I do think go. Alright. Buttons were not shaded. I decided they needed to be shaded. Alright. So close. So close. The joy of being done. Okay. Secondary light source again. My commitment to the secondary light source gets me every time. There we go. All right, last but not least, we're the last character, you guys. Holy cow, how many weeks have you been working on this thing? I'm just so happy. I'm just so close. Being done with this monster. There we go. Okay. Doot. Nah. Finish strong. Doot. Okay. Oh. Holy crap. You guys. Oh, no, didn't call it yet. See, that's the thing. The second you say you're done, you're gonna spot something else. So, gotta give it a once over. Can't can't tell you how many times I like thought I was done and then like spotted some little bits or bobs elsewhere. But you know what? You know what? You know what? Oh my God. I think we did it, you guys. I think this thing is donezo. Mmm. Okay. All right. Whew. Oh, man. This is, yeah. This one took a minute. A little bit longer than I thought it would, admittedly. That's why always, as a contractor, it's good to keep track of, your hours. What is it? Good to keep track of how long it takes you to do stuff. It's good to keep track of how long it takes you to, put your stuff together so that you can bill appropriately. But yeah. Holy cow. Alright. We are done. Time for the thing. There we go. It's official. Boom. Wow. All right. And like with half an hour left on the stream. You know what? Let's see. Okay. So, yeah. All right. This is done. This took a while. But we are at last done. So, but I am pleased with it overall. Absolutely. I think the colors look great. I think the composition looks great. And hey, Axis, how you doing? So yeah, I think this is another one in the books. And much as I want to relish this moment and call it done, and let's see, I suppose it could blow off the last half hour, but you know what? I did promise a look at the next project, and let's see, here we go. We are diving back into the Mythfall universe. All right, got a cover to do. Oh yeah, for the Mythfall Interludes book, the the project that I was doing, the project that I was doing some guest pages for earlier this year. So yes, this is going to be the cover image. And let's see. I think I will. So yeah, I think I will definitely. I'll get a start at this. See it set up a little bit. But yeah, but you know what? I think I deserved a little bit of a rest as well. So, let's see. So I'm just gonna get this started and going a little bit. So, set my sketch layer to 25-30%. Let's see. Make sure I'm on the line layer. And whoop, away. And away we go. Yep. Leaping right. I have my inky brush selected. Magnification going. And away we go. Yep. Diving right into the next project. That's how I roll. Let's see. Let's say, if you are not familiar with the Mythfall pages I did earlier, there you can see there are comic pages in the archive, the back catalog of live stream replays. So you can go check out the work I did for those and maybe learn a little bit about who this character is. A prince destined to oversee, I think, the downfall of his civilization. But yeah, if you like space fantasy, this is seems like the thing for you. Cos cosmic beings, prophecies, the whole shebang. It is interesting because yeah, it starts out like it transitions from a medieval fantasy to a spacefaring story. And yeah, so yeah, it's a pretty interesting concept. Let's see. And so just got my inky brush here, my special ink brush. It's just got the nice just the right bit of spring to it. When you find the brush that not only gives you the kind of arch, the kind of line you want, but also just kind of feels right. That's a beautiful thing. So this is kind of how I did the hair. Yeah, how I like to do black hair. This is kind of like don't not filling it in all the way, leaving room for like the sheen, the gloss a little bit. And there you go. And then just kind of keeping not quite touching the outside. The outside line, the outline, the defining line. So there we are. And actually, let's see. Here's a little bit long, so yeah, I'm gonna. So when you're this early on, you can adjust it and stuff like that. So make it a little bit more in line. I am going to switch my magic wand tool. I'm going to turn the sample all layers box off, and this will. Let's see. The contiguous is on, but I want this. Dude. There we are. So, jawline. Again, we're using a little bit of a thicker outline to define a thicker line to define the outline of stuff. And all right, been coloring. I need to get into my inking rhythm here. So delicate, dude. Thin line there. Okay, thick line, thin line, thick line. There we go. Alternating between the two. There we go. And cut. There you go. Wait. Actually, backing it up here. Trying to remember how I constructed this costume. Shoulder pad. That's right. There we go. Like that better. All right. Okay. Coat wrinkles, always good. There we go. Thumbnail. Knuckle. Oh, man. There we go. And fingers going down a bit. All right, all right. How do fingers work again? Hold on, let me see. All right, cool. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, all right. That makes sense. All right. Eek. I don't know, man. They call them fingers, but I ain't never seen them fing. There we go. All right. Actually, I'm gonna put the top side of the chair arm here. Dude. Okay, and there we go. All right, there you go. That, okay. Or maybe, okay. Maybe I'll make my life a little bit easier. Make it a little bit better. Okay. Okay, alright. I know what I need to do here. Excuse me. Alright, thinking out loud, figuring out in real time. There we go. Alright. Okay. Finishing up all the fingers. Well done. Okay. Outside edge of the chair. And hit. Boom. Hee. Game of Thrones, is that like musical chairs but with big fancy thrones? That's dumb. Yeah. Zoop. There you go. There's a Patreon cartoon idea. Game of Thrones, but it's like but it's musical chairs. Boop boop boop. Alright, let's pop back up here and deal with this guy's face. What's wrong with your face? Oh, right, it looks worried. Get it. Generally like to make the top eyelid a little bit thicker and the bottom eyelid a little bit thinner. And that eyeball wasn't round enough, so we're gonna take another shot at it. I don't know why it's always the left eye that gives me issues. All right, there we go. There we go. Delicate nose bits accounted for. Now we are going to scooch the ball of the nose up just a little bit like so. And bottom lip, make the corners. And just gonna adjust that just a skosh. There we go. And there we have it. Our protagonist is very concerned looking. Okay. Add a little crease for the collar there. And then, let's see. Alright, and then I'm gonna be a lazy wiener and use my copy paste. Copy paste. Flip horizontal. Go. Slide. Okay. See, that's the problem. So we're gonna do that here. Line it up right there. We are. Look at that. Lazy wiener for the win. Let's scooch it just a little bit more. There we are. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. And cool. And just put it all together. That's right. Need to get the symbols. Yeah, I need to get that triangular symbol there. Better view of that. Alright, do a little pin here. So I do need to get his brooch, his little chest triangle thing. Need to get some reference for that. I'm just going to pencil it in right here for now. And by pencil, I mean ink. I'm going to ink it in right here for now. I'll look it up later. Right now I'm on a roll. like that. Didn't like that. Didn't like that. Denied. 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 Approved. There we go. There we are. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Here's where all those art college classes where we studied Greek sculpture and drapery is going to really come in handy. Shadows, shadows, shadows. Ugh, I ran out of jibber jabber. Kids, mark this day on the calendar. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, one day of summer break and I may have gotten worn out already. Took my kiddos to the playground this morning. Yeah, 2 hours of running around. I guess I'll take it out of me these days. Although, that's not nothing. Mm-hmm. But as always, if you have any questions about how the sausage is made or any little thing, This is also kind of Ask Me Anything time. Art, movies, you know, pop culture, whatever. I'm not picky. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, Shu, what are we gonna do with you? Mm-hmm. 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 All right. It's close. All right. I think I'm definitely gonna have to look up some reference for our goddess character in the background here, though. Oh no, where did that come from? Oh, well, bummer. Alright, well, there you go. Here you get to see the professional artists goof up in action. Because there's this little black line that's running through everything. Not sure why or where that came from. But we cannot let that stand. The indignity of it all. My goodness, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for me. Ay, ugh. That's, and there you go. Even, and I guess the lesson here is even when you're doing digital, sometimes there's problems that you still have to go through and fix the old-fashioned way. All right. All right. Yeah. Now, thankfully, this one is not going to take nearly as long as the last one. The last commission. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's all right. So, just noticed a thing, and that is, and his knee seems very long. Like the from the knee to his foot seems very long there. So, let's see what we can do to fix that. I think I'm going to cut that onto a new layer. And just move it up so. Not perfect, but better. And again, this is why you gotta just keep constantly looking, constantly reevaluating. Taking a leaning back, zooming out, taking a step back, and then checking your work. Use your artist's eye. It's like a superpower. Not really, it just usually means you get bogged down in some kind of insignificant stuff that nobody else is going to notice except for you. It's a little bit part blessing, part curse. Part blessing, part curse, all in proper fraction. Oh my, this fraction is so improper. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. There we go. Oh, he looks sad. That was the idea. Poor guy. some hatchings here to kind of, create some dimensionality in the throne. All right. All right, there we go. Oh, got one more thing to do with this central character yet, and that is his crown upon his royal brow. There we are. Is it a crown or is it a circlet? I think it might be a circlet. Or a tiara. Alright. Ta-da! Okie dokie. Okie dokie, artichoke. Yep. And while I was tired and while I was very close to just checking out after finishing the last illustration, I am actually glad that powered through a little bit because got an excellent start on this one. And yeah, I think we will, as I mentioned, I think this one will go much more quickly than the last one. So that'll be a good thing. Let's see. If you enjoyed watching me today, if you enjoyed the content that I send to your inbox every week, if you enjoy my work in general, please do consider becoming a Patreon pal or Substack sustainer for the low price of less than 75 cents a week. You can become a vital part of making all this happen, as well as get some awesome bonus rewards as well. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know, I would say less than the price of a cup of coffee a month, but that's boring. Less than the price of 1 pound of edible body glitter per month. Don't ask how I know that. You too can become a sustaining member of the Nathan Luth Illustration Enterprise. So please consider doing so. Your patronage is vital to making this all possible. So I hope you are having a good start to your summer, wherever you happen to be. And no live stream next week. I will be at another live sales event. Nevertheless, and I hope to see you again soon in the future. And until then, be good, but not too good. And Nathan out.